Welcome to Real Estate with Ryan. So excited to be with you on a Saturday. What's better than that? It's Easter. Happy Easter, everybody. Hope you're enjoying your weekend with family. It's a special time in this year, and I hope everybody's having a good Easter. Enjoy your weekend, and thank you for tuning in to Real Estate with Ryan. Busy real estate market, so much to cover. Got a really good show for you. We figured we was talking spring. We're probably talking real estate, probably talking about real estate sales. Real estate sales are up, and we're going to be talking about real estate contracts, essential elements of a real estate contract you need to know. We'll talk about some tips, the fundamental stuff, but the things that maybe if you're buying land or in that investment property or maybe multifamily, just some things that kind of off the top of our head to cover that I think is very valuable for you. And of course, as you know, you never know what else we'll cover. All here with Real Estate with Ryan, and we have a fun-packed show, special show. First of all, my family likes to wish everybody a happy Easter to all of you guys, my little kiddos, and of course, my team here at Hometown Realty. Very special time. So I hope you're enjoying this weekend, and I hope it's a good one. All right. So got some congrats and got some new listings to kind of start off the show. We got 512 Dormer Court in Townsend. Super great property that just listed. 2256 Jones Cove Road, new listings. Look out for that in Sevierville. 77 Ball Point Road. Beautiful waterfront lot out in Norris. Make sure you check that out. 642 East Tri-County Boulevard. That's in Oliver Springs. That's a commercial property that we just listed. It used to be a old drugstore. Could be commercial space. Lots of opportunity. Has a little residential use there. Make sure you check that property out. Beautiful condo just listed. Great client of ours. He's going to be closer to family. 7815 Galaxy Way Road in Powell. And then, of course, we've got a Mount Pleasant Road, new lot listing out there, out north as well. So make sure we got a lot of movement. This is the time of the year that we see those waterfront properties, lake lots, a lot of things that we're seeing in the marketplace that we're starting to see that movement there. Tamachi Drive, congrats to our great seller there, going under contract. Riga 611 going under contract really quickly. 1601 Ponderosa Drive under contract. And congrats. You like that? Congrats to our great friends and neighbors, the Walshes, just closed over a Misty Cloud Lane. 112 Tucker Road, congrats to him. Sale in Oak Ridge. And what else do we have here? Oh, Kings Hills Boulevard. Can't forget him. Great past client of ours. Super congrats to him on the closing. And then 110 Saffles Lane out in Madisonville. And that kind of rounds out the week. So it's been a busy week. Hope your week has been well. And like I said, it is real estate time here in East Tennessee. A lot of things going on. We won't do the vol update today. So we'll do that. Usually do that second half of the show. But keep in mind, April 15th, you want to follow us. I'm not sure, but I think more than likely we'll be down there at the orange and white game. We got some cool stuff. I got the NFL draft that's coming right around the corner. So Hendon's really looking really good there. So we got, believe it or not, we've got some of his footballs left that we want to probably give out to you guys on a special time. So we've got some great swag and some giveaways and some stuff like that. So probably orange and white game. We'll have some fun stuff down there for you guys. Make sure you check us out. Come visit us. We'll have a tent out there more than likely. And come see what we're looking like for fall in East Tennessee. We're excited to see a lot of new faces and, of course, go see our Vols and support them on Saturday. So that's going to be a big event, April 15th, orange and white game. So that's going to be a big event. What else is in the news, guys? Interest rates. Let's talk about that before we get going on the show. I think it's a big, big thing. Interest rates just went down, and which is good to hear, right? As we go into the spring season. Just kind of recap some of the mortgage rates today. We got a 30-year fixed conventional loan at 6.125. That's no points. Got our 15-year at 5.875. That's good. FHA, listen to this, 5.75, 0 points. VA, 5.625, and that's exciting. And then we got our ARM, some of our adjustable rate products that can be all over the board, and our jumbo pricing on a 30-year of 6.625 and a 15 at a 6.50 points. So the mortgage rates, good to see that. Good to see that. Inventory as a whole in East Tennessee, is pretty low. We're about 2,800 homes, still averaging about that. Markets all over the board. Kind of our 400,000 and under is really a special market. And we've had some great clients that we've helped over the week. Congrats. We didn't talk about our great friend Snyder Drive closing. Good past client of mine and good friend, actually. And him and his son purchased a property in Hardin Valley. Was great to help those guys close that. But kind of piggybacking on their purchase, we had to go through several properties in that price range that are looking for homes. And so what you'll find is, we'll say, I hear a lot of news on the real estate cycle, and it's kind of all over the board, and inflation and the interest rates. But East Tennessee market is really unique. And it's like a year, I think 2023 is like we'll never see, because it's got a little mixture of everything. It's kind of, I told a good friend or colleague that I work with, I said, you don't know what to expect in 2023. You just don't know. Just prepare to hang on to your seats and enjoy the ride, because you just don't know. A lot of the news and movement in the markets of other things that are affecting the real estate market. But what we do know is that the market here in East Tennessee is very strong, and our inventory remains low. And when our inventory remains low, regardless of some other things that are working in the economy, the opportunity in our market is still very strong. We still have a strong pull across the country. As I told you, I just had some great neighbors. They're friends from a great past client. They're actually my neighbors a couple doors down. Is that kind of hard to believe that they're going to live a couple doors down from me? And this whole big place of East Tennessee, they move in a couple doors down from me. That's just kind of how Murphy happens. Great neighbors, great to help their son actually relocate from California, and just kind of a cool experience. So that's kind of how 2023 is going. You just never know what to expect. But just know we've got you covered, whether you're buying, whether you're selling. If you're investing, maybe you're buying land. We got a lot of land that we've listed lately, some great properties, large acreage, things like that. If you need an expert, that's why we do this show every week. I've been doing it 24 years. I've got the greatest team here in East Tennessee as far as the real estate market. We care about what we do. We take care of our people. And why it's important, because it's one of the biggest decisions you're ever going to make. And it's a big one where there's a lot on the line right now. There's so much going on in the market. What do I do, Ryan? Do I buy? Do I sell? And then there's an emotion. April was talking to one of our great clients that we just sold his house, some of our great seniors, and the listing fell through on the inspection. Something came back, and then we're back under contract and ended up getting a lot more money for the property. So he was super happy there. But the stressful part of the move is finding that property. It always has been over the last couple of years. And then just getting into that, finding it and closing it. And he mentioned to April the other day, he just said, Ryan, I don't know how you do this. This is just super stressful, and there's so much going on. Sometimes you feel like you just want to say, oh no, I might not even want to sell because it's just so stressful. But that's what we're here for. We try to de-stress, help you, walk you through everything, and make it easy. So we showed him a couple today that I think he's feeling very good about. But the emotions are high right now. We know that. We know it's a crazy, crazy week. What happened? What happened this week? What all went on the news? We probably won't go down that road, but there's a lot of news stuff, newsworthy. So there's a lot of things going on that it adds to the emotion. Anyway, I won't get going too much. Let's get back into our show. But again, if you need us for anything in the market, it's the easiest number, the best number in real estate. It's 693-SOLD. Visit us at ryancoleman.org. We're here every week on News Talk at 98.7 at 1 o'clock, Talk Radio 92.3 FM, and all your social media channels. All right, some of the essential elements in a contract. What's important? So I find my forever home, Ryan. I've got to put the details together. Don't worry, we've got that covered, but we're going to cover some of these terms. First, you got to find the property. Got to identify it. Most importantly, sounds simple, but make sure you put the tax ID number or your PID number in your address. What's important about your PID? Sometimes, just sometimes, we have addresses that are not 100% correct from the county, and we want to make sure you have your tax identification number or your PID number to make sure that when you're purchasing a property, that you're purchasing the whole property. Sometimes properties are divided, maybe a back portion of a lot or a portion of that was sold to a neighbor, but it doesn't show up on the tax record. So make sure you put the whole thing and reference it in the contract. Now, number two is we're always talking about escrow. What is escrow? What is a escrow or escrow money deposit? I look at it like this. If you ever rented a property, you have a security deposit. and the security deposit says, hey, by the way, we're very serious about your property. We're going to hold this here. And then if long as when I leave, everything's okay, then we're going to get our security deposit back. Well, escrow is very, very similar. It's good faith money. It shows the seller that you're serious, and it holds the property until closing. The good thing about escrow is when you close or when you do go to settlement, you get that back. So that's a good thing. So that's what escrow is. We're coming up on the second half of the show. Make sure you stay with us. We got so much more with Real Estate with Ryan.
There's no place like home, and this basketball house is special. The great games, players, championships, it's a true home court advantage.
I'm Ryan Coleman. Both basketball and real estate take great drive and determination. Whether you're in the market to buy or sell a home,
let Hometown Realty give you the home court advantage.
Hometown Realty is East Tennessee's #1 real estate group and a proud sponsor of the Vols.
I'm Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty. The real estate market's changing every day. You need to know your home's value in today's market. Text your home address to 290-2290 for an instant, no obligation home evaluation. That's 865-290-2290. And remember, when you're ready to sell, we have a guaranteed sale program to get you in your next home stress-free. Trust your hometown experts. We've helped thousands of people just like you.
Back out of Real Estate with Ryan. Happy Easter edition from Hometown Realty and all my crew here and the fam. Wishing everybody that's listening on the airwaves a happy Easter. Spend that special time with your family this weekend. I know I will. And, time goes so quickly, guys. Time goes so quickly. My little babies, I got a 3-year-old and an 8-year-old. And I was meeting some great clients out in Friendsville today. And his kids are in college. And he said, Ryan, it goes, this is what he said. So you gotta laugh. He says, it's like a roll of toilet paper. He's like, when it gets going in the middle, it just keeps on going and it never stops. It goes so quick, it's out of control. I was like, well, that's a good analogy. He's from New York. I love him. And I said, no, it makes sense because we all know that everything's going quick and everything's going fast. So spend that special time with your family. And we're privileged that you take a time to tune into Real Estate with Ryan every weekend. We appreciate your support so much. It means the world to us. I know I can't have a chance to meet all you guys, but we appreciate it. And I hope you enjoy the content. We try to have fun, no hard sells on the radio, just to get you to know us and what we do. So in the event that you need our services or we can ever help you in any means, that's what we focus on, try to help you with any of your real estate needs. And always hopefully that you get something from the show, have a little fun. All right, we're talking about contracts, important elements of your contracts, things that you need to know. So we're talking about the real estate contract. We talked about escrow before I went into the break. Disclosures. Disclosures are big in Tennessee. What are you going to disclose, Ryan? What are they going to say? Well, we do a residential property disclosure. And if you live in the property in the last 3 years in Tennessee, they require you to have this disclosure. It's long form. And you fill out all the questions. How old is this? And, how long have you lived here? And are there any defects, any sinkholes, any meth labs on the property, all this kind of stuff. But, it's the questionnaire is very, very important. And the sellers are required to fill that out. Any lead-based paint, things like that. So there are some that are called an exemption. An exemption, what is that? That means the sellers are exempt in Tennessee. So if you haven't lived there, it's an investment. You really don't know about it. You don't know it as it is your own home, so you don't have to disclose anything. I will tell you whether it's a investment property or it's your residence. It's important if you know something wrong, FYI, always disclose it. Always err on the side of caution. Don't ever sell the property years down the road and then before you know it, you've got issues. So make sure if you got something, get with your agent or get with us. Let us know how we could help you or put the right disclosure. Perfect example. Great client here recently. We had a bad storm. I know you guys saw it. A baby's 4 o'clock going through Hardin Valley, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. All I hear is this beep, 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 beep. I was like, didn't know what it was. But then they were pretty serious about it. And I said, well, let me look at this. I said, a tornado. So I was a tornado warning watch. I'm half awake. I said, I don't know, a tornado coming here. They're pretty serious about it. Something caused me to turn on the news, and there the news was all red and suspect and this and that. And I said, oh, man. So then I got my wife up, and then we're looking at the news. And before you know it, we had to go downstairs. Hopefully everybody was safe. And we were. But getting back to my point, so the winds were really, really bad, and the storms were really bad. And so there wasn't a lot of damage, thank goodness, at least in our area. But one of my great clients had part of his shingles and different stuff like that happen, blew off the roof. And guess what? We got to update our disclosure. And so he had to get the shingles fixed. And then we had to let the buyers know, hey, by the way, we didn't have the issues when you looked at the property, but now we had some shingles, we repaired it and letting you know. See, that's just kind of covering yourself and making sure that you're letting them know the day or two before closing, hey, we did fix this and here's the receipts. Buyer's going to be 100% fine with everything. But it's important that we let them know, even if you don't think they should know, make sure we disclose to them. So always a really good deal. Hey, price and terms are big, right? Buyers what? What is the best deal we can get? Sellers want the most money. But what are the terms? What's the involvement? Are we doing seller financing? Don't see that very common nowadays, but it's done. What kind of closing costs are involved? Terms, when are you going to close? Most important thing that you want to cover in your real estate contract is how much you're going to offer. Are you paying your own closing costs or any incentives? We deal with a lot of vacation properties and rentals too. Is a tenant going to leave? Are they going to vacate? Is there a rent back agreement? That's a separate form that goes with the contract. And then your inspections, very important that you get an inspection on the property. And then you have a period to make a decision whether you want to ask for items to be fixed or you can just walk away, because that's that escrow we talked about in the first half of the show, that if you're not happy during that inspection period, you can get that escrow back after closing. And the main thing is you're not obligated to purchase property. They're called contingencies. So make sure that you have the right contingencies in your contract that are protecting you throughout the purchase, because there's a lot going on. And I'd say probably the biggest thing we see in the real estate industry with the amount of business that we do over here, especially people coming from across the country, you're going to have a contingency with their home selling, whether it's on the market or they're already under contract. Make sure we have the proper contingency in your purchase and sale agreement. Why? Because if something happened on your house in California or Texas or wherever, and it didn't sell, that you're not obligated to purchase this one. Without the right contingencies, you could be obligated to purchase this one, regardless of you selling your house in California or in Texas, okay? Very, very important. Closing costs. A lot of sellers say, well, Ryan, I'm not paying closing costs. I don't blame you. I wouldn't either. But they're there. They're the elephant in the room, and they usually range about 3 to 4% of the buyer's loan amount. Something the buyers needs to be responsible for. But as the market changes, as the market shifts, we're seeing closing costs be included in the offers. It's not uncommon. Keep in mind, sellers, what's most important about an offer. When you get an offer, your great agent's going to go over all the terms. Price, when they're looking to move in, how much escrow, what is their loan amount, how solid is the deal? Are they asking for closing cost? Is that important to you? And then you'll be able to make a decision whether you accept the offer, make a counter, or make some corrections to it. Just because they say closing costs might be a way that the buyer is trying to negotiate. Maybe they paid you full price, but they want to wiggle in some of the closing costs. And the environment that we're seeing now with the interest rates, we got a lot of buy downs, a lot of closing costs where the buyers are offsetting some of the market conditions and they're passing it on to the seller. Not what you want to hear, but in the market that we're in, to a certain degree, depending on your price range, it may be something to really consider. So keep that in mind. Time of possession, this is big. We talk about this probably not enough. And I have some really great clients, and they say, Ryan, and maybe you guys have even thought about this, but I hear this probably more than you would ever think. We list the property, getting ready to go, and they say, Ryan, when I need to be out of here? I said, well, when they give you the money, give you the cash. He said, so I'm supposed to leave in 30 days? So, well, kind of. That's kind of what they want. That's kind of what they expect. I mean, I'm not sure if it makes a smoother move, Mr. Seller, would make sense a couple of weeks later. And believe it or not, I've had some really great sellers. So I'm going to need a couple of weeks after closing. And you agents out there, listen to this. This is always a funny conversation that we're talking. And the seller's dead serious. And he says, well, I need a couple of weeks after closing. It's always an interesting conversation, but, and we can accommodate that. But normally in Tennessee, when they close, they want to have possession of the house at least closely after the closing date. So there's a lot of things that you need to do that if you're not able to meet that, make sure that you have your provisions, rent backs, things that at the last minute that you're protected, because the last thing you want to do is have the whole moving truck. I think that's probably one of the biggest fears, Nick. I think most people don't realize is what makes life stressful in real estate is probably knowing that I'm selling my house down the street or locally. The movers has everything moved, boxed up, ready to go. I'm moving to XYZ house. I'm excited, got jobs moving, got kids in new schools, and something snags or something with the loan or something happens last minute. And that's where the nervous energy really goes, where they pull up to closing. And I've seen this before. We could have a real estate story forever. And the sellers are not out of the house yet. Like, what do you do? And then so this is 100% why, guys. Do not try to sell the house yourself if you can all help it. I know some of you guys have been successful with it. But what happens when you have great agents involved with the transaction, this is where we really earn our keep, but we have to work together as a team, right? And make sure that, number one, buyer and seller don't kill each other. Number two, that we come up with a plan that works for everybody. Because it happens, right? Because sometimes people don't explain, or maybe the sellers just take for granted that they don't have to be out at closing. They didn't know any better. Sometimes we can move closing dates, but sometimes it's just not possible, right? So all these things come in to closing and how they're important to writing a good, solid real estate contract. We do that all for you. You don't have to worry about it when you hire us. We take care of all the details and we try to make it as smooth as possible. Hope you've enjoyed the show today. It's been a good show, covered a lot of different things. Enjoy spending time with you on Easter. Again, me and my team at Hometown Realty wish you happy Easter from our family, our team to you. Have a great weekend. We look forward to seeing you back next weekend here with Real Estate with Ryan. Have a good weekend.